Well, the time has come, everybody. Some of you at home have finally driven me to drink. I'm going to the private label for this. Some bourbon that is custom made for me out of the Cayman Islands by the best distiller there is. Dan, if you're watching this, DK, my man down there, appreciate you. But you guys are driving me to drink. You really are. And I'll tell you why. Please, 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 if you have no real estate experience, stop trying to flip property for the love of God. And if you're doing it, please don't use hard money. I just got off the phone with a couple of people in the last week who have lost tens of thousands of dollars. Combined, the two people that I spoke to lost about, just in cash, not even the purchase of the property, probably upwards of $250,000 because they're getting into flips with no real estate experience. Guys, what are you doing? If you want to start in real estate, the best way to start in real estate is long-term rentals. And I'll tell you why that's the best. Because long-term rental property is a precursor to all things real estate. You'll learn more investing in long-term rental property. That will set you up to get into any kind of real estate you need to get into. When you get into long-term rental property, you buy the property, it's going to need a little bit of rehab, okay? So you'll understand what it's like rehabbing a property, but not doing a $50,000 or $100,000 rehab as your first one. You're going to be doing something smaller. Now, if you're in my coaching program and we're doing it together, it's a little different because I've done so many rehabs. I don't care if you're a first-time buyer and we got to do a $50K rehab, it's a little bit different. But if you're doing this on your own, your first rehabs should not be $50,000 or more. Okay? They have to be small because you guys don't know how to manage rehabs like that. So getting back to long-term rentals. We get into a long-term rental property. We do a small rehab, 10, 15, 20,000. You guys learn how rehab works, how repairs work. You learn what it's like working with a contractor. You understand what it's like working with a management company. You guys learn what it's like being a landlord and learning about maintenance and learning about real estate and taxes and utilities and turning utilities on, small things you'd never think about. And you learn about contracts and you learn about working with realtors. You learn so much. And at the end of the day, once the property is set up and secured, you put somebody in there, they're paying rent. If you do a good job vetting tenants, it is a low-risk operation. If you get into Section 8, it's the most mitigated risk investment that there possibly is, okay? When you get into a flip, you're buying a property. 9 times out of 10, you're spending cash on the property because if it's a flip property, it's probably distressed or in bad shape. You can't finance it. Okay, a lot of properties you do finance, they won't allow you to flip the property quickly either. So you're probably buying the property in cash. It's a lot of cash to put out when you don't know what you're doing. Then you're doing a big rehab. Okay, depending on what your purchase price is and how much work it needs, it probably needs over $50,000 to work. Very few times are we going to be able to buy a property and put $20,000 into it and be able to sell it for significantly more than we bought it for. It's going to probably need a lot of updating. It's going to need a lot of stuff. Okay, and then a lot of times, some of you who are doing flips, you're using hard money, which the terms of hard money are terrible. So you're taking money on bad terms and you're needing to flip property. You don't know what you're doing. You're spending a ton of money and you're putting a lot on the line with no experience, and you're driving me to drink. Okay? I enjoy a drink all the time, but I don't like being driven to drink. Now, if I am going to be driven to drink, I do like my bourbon. I do like my whiskey, but it's also not, I don't even think it's 5 o'clock. It's like 3 o'clock you guys are making me drink. Come on. Stop doing flips if you got no experience. Okay? Now, long-term rental properties. Okay? They're going to set us up. They're going to teach you what you need to learn to eventually get into flips, because I talk to my coaching clients all the time, and we do flips all the time. You might get to a point in long-term rentals where you say, I need to build more cash. I need to grow more cash. And because I need to grow more cash, what are the best ways to do it? Well, a great way to grow more cash is to do a flip. It's a great way to do it. If you guys have the patience and the ability to wait for the right property to flip where we can make enough money, then a flip is a phenomenal choice for you. But you need to know what you're doing. You need to know what you're doing. I would feel a lot more comfortable if somebody said to me, Rhett, do you want to come in on a flip with me? I'd say, okay, what's your real estate experience? Well, I have 5 rental properties. I know all about rehab. I know all about maintenance. I know all about real estate. I'd say, oh, okay. Well, this guy's purchased 5 properties, or this woman's purchased 5 properties, and they know about rehab. They know about this, and they know about this. Okay, great. What if somebody comes to me and says, hey, Rhett, I want to do a flip with you? I say, okay, what's your real estate experience? I don't have any. So you want to do a flip? A lot of my clients were purchasing property, we're putting 20% down, and then we're putting, 10 to 20,000 in rehab on a property. Great. That's not a lot of risk, guys, especially when we're talking about making double-digit returns on that property. When you try to get into a property and you do a flip, one mistake in a flip, you make no money. For those of you who have done flips before, you know what I'm talking about. You get into a flip and it gets quoted wrong, or you have a contractor that's no good who gets in there and misses a huge aspect of work, or you take a wall down and realize that there's a ton more work that needs to be done than you originally thought, and all of a sudden you got to add $20,000 or $25,000 in work to a project, there goes all your profit, right? It's high risk. So then you have all this money tied up for 4 or 5 months and you don't make any money, right? It's very, very high risk. It's high risk, high reward. All I'm saying, guys, is make sure you're at a position in your real estate investing career where you are ready to get into flips. If you need to raise capital and you have no real estate experience, go to other people, partner up. That's a lot lower risk than doing a flip. I'd rather you guys use other people's money and partner up with people and own a less percentage of equity than go out there and lose money. Okay, guys? So thanks for watching. No thank you for making me drink before 5 p.m. We'll see you next time.